What's going on, everyone? It's me, Lone, and as you know, yesterday we did a video about why the player character in Vault 76 is still in the vault 5 years after the vault door was meant to open. As you know, to recap, the Great War was on October 23rd, 2077, so the vault door to Vault 76 would have automatically opened on October 23rd, 2097. However, the date that's in the game as indicated on the Pip-Boy in the Fallout 76 trailer is October 27, 2102. So that's 5 years and several days after the vault door automatically opened. And I gave my theories. I was like, you know what, maybe the player character just decided to stay in and didn't leave because it's the most secure location. Or maybe he decided to go out and then come back in because it was a safe place to be. But we were never really sure as to which way to lean. And also something that we weren't really sure about is how recent the Reclamation Day party was. And because you Fallout community are too damn smart for your own good, you picked up on things that I just didn't even think about, right? But these comments, man, they enlighten us as to certain things that happened in this trailer that I think are really important. So we're going to discuss those in this video. So first of all, let's address the question. When did the Reclamation Day party take place for Vault 76? All I said in my last video was that the party supplies were still everywhere. It looked kind of recent. Maybe the people were asleep at the time because it was 6:30 in the morning, but still, it was very, very empty. I didn't know whether they had left or not, but we weren't sure as to when the actual Reclamation party took place. We even suggested that maybe it was several years ago and the Vault character just never cleaned up because he was a messy person. We literally said that in the last video. And again, that was speculation, but Mr. Timmy Hill on my last video said the following. The balloons still have helium in them, so it had to be very recently. The balloons in the trailer are still full and floating, so it couldn't be more than a day or two at most since the party. And yes, look at this shot in the Fallout 76 trailer. Yes, there are some balloons that are on the ground and maybe they've lost their helium, but there are clearly others that are still floating and attached to strings. So naturally, they must still have some helium inside of them. Otherwise, they would not be able to float. So if you were to tell me when I woke up today that eventually I'll be doing research into helium balloons to determine something for a Fallout 76 video, I would have told you you're crazy, but I actually had to do that because it would determine when the Reclamation Day party actually took place. And from what I could find on the internet, helium balloons can last anywhere from 8 to 24 hours after they've been filled with helium. So this means that the Reclamation Day must have taken place within literally the past day of that trailer footage. Because if that wasn't the case, all of those balloons would have stopped floating. Yes, I know it's crazy that I'm saying this right now, but it's true. And if we assume that the date of the actual game is the one that reads on the Pip-Boy, i.e. 27th of October 2102, then the party probably took place on the 26th of October, or maybe at the earliest on the 25th of October 2102. So this means that the 500 of those that were in Vault 76 would have stayed 5 years after the vault door automatically opened. So like with Vault 3, for some reason they decided to stay, and I think we can assume maybe that they did so because, again, they weren't sure what was outside and they wanted to be protected by the vault door. And also as well, this is presuming that all of the vault residents had attended the Reclamation Day party and then afterwards they left. But at the very least, judging by the damn helium balloons, I can't believe I keep saying that, Reclamation Day would have taken place over 5 years after the vault door automatically opened. So they did not intend on leaving straight away. But then, the next question we asked in that last video is, why did the player character decide to stay behind? Again, it was said in the year 2102, 5 years after the vault door automatically opened. We asked why the player character decided to stay in the vault over 5 years after the door opened, but also as well, assuming that everyone left after the Reclamation party, why did the vault character actually stay and not go with the bigger group? But here's the thing, the player character, in all likelihood, has already left the vault. And this is because of a really obscure, small piece of information that, damn it, I've not seen anyone else pick up on this except for this one person that commented on my video. Let's take a look at that comment. So Fred stated, I wonder why the Pip-Boy is reading 500 rads. maybe the protagonist has already been outside exploring. It could be an oversight though, since the needle is perfectly horizontal, like the model was created that way and then no one adjusted it for the trailer. And yes, when you look at the Pip-Boy that is on the bedside table in the room in Vault 76, it reads at exactly 500 rads. Obviously you got the 5 number there and then you times it by 100, therefore 500 rads. So there you go, we missed that little small piece of information that the rad level on the Pip-Boy is already reading at 500. And mind you, 500 rads is pretty significant. I mean, if we go off of Fallout 3's radiation levels, from 400 to 599 is considered advanced radiation poisoning. And then of course you have 1000, which is the lethal level. Once your rad level reaches 1000, your player character will actually die. So how on earth is this Pip-Boy in the trailer reading at 500 rads? There must be a reason to it. Now, admittedly, it might be the same reason that Fred said, that maybe that's considered the default level of a Pip-Boy before it's actually fully utilized. But I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I'm trying to think back to my times in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. I'm going to check the Fallout 4 opening. 1 second. Okay, I just had a look at a Fallout 4 Let's Play really quickly. Thank you so much, Gopher, for that. When you pick up the Pip-Boy at the beginning of Fallout 4, and then you go out and emerge outside of the vault, the rad level on the Pip-Boy that you just pick up is at 0. Okay, so I don't believe having the rad level at 500 is kind of the default level, and maybe this is an oversight from Bethesda, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's a Fallout 76 trailer, you'd assume that they'd have attention to detail. So it's still set at 500, and because the one in Fallout 4 was set at 0 initially, I'm assuming that the default level on a Pip-Boy for rads would be 0 as well. So then it still begs the question, why is the Pip-Boy in the Fallout 76 trailer reading at 500 rads? It must mean that either, somehow, while inside the vault, the radiation levels were increased slightly, so the Pip-Boy would have been picking up on that, or, and I think this is the more likely scenario here, the actual player character has already left the vault. I mean, Vault 76 is a control vault. It was all sealed up. I'm presuming that Vault-Tec took their precautions so that no radiation would be able to seep in. I mean, it's unlike Vault 12, where the vault door was intentionally not closed properly so that all the inhabitants were exposed to radiation and Vault-Tec could determine what the results would be. So I think we can safely assume that Vault 76, there would have been no radiation levels inside of the vault. So the only way that that Pip-Boy could have increased radiation levels to 500 would have been if the player character that was wearing the Pip-Boy went outside at some stage, because they had 5 years to do so, right? From the date October 23rd, 2097, right up until the date October 27, 2102, there was over 5 years where presumably someone could have left the vault to go out and scout, to go out and research, to scope the land, some sort of reason to go exit the vault without necessarily having the entirety of the vault leave and never come back. And then someone also mentioned this in my last Fallout video, where the backpack that's on the bed doesn't necessarily look like a backpack of someone that's wanting to leave, but rather it looks like a backpack of someone that's gone out to explore and has come back. So what does all of this mean? It means that at some point the player character has left the vault and come back. And in the process of exploring and going out into the West Virginian wastelands, presuming that's the setting, they would have picked up 500 levels of radiation and got an advanced radiation poisoning. So one of the guesses that I made in the last video, that the player character we play as in Fallout 76 had never left the vault at all, is just plain false according to this information. I can't figure out any other way that this Pip-Boy is reading at 500 rads without the vault character having already put the Pip-Boy on, got that backpack, and gone out to explore for some reason. So could that be incorporated into the story of the game? Could it be the case that we either start maybe sometime before Reclamation Day, and we're the scouting party that goes out to see what the wasteland is like? That is super interesting, right? Because we didn't have that in Fallout 3, Fallout 4 New Vegas, where we're still the proper citizen of a vault, and we've been asked to go out and scout the land and come back and report our findings. I mean, of course, Fallout 1 had this with Vault 13, where the Overseer came to us and said, the water chip is broken, you need to leave, you need to go to find a new one, and then come back to us. But in that case, the Overseer had no intention, I think anyways, of letting us back into the vault. Because eventually, and spoiler for those that haven't played Fallout 1, the the Overseer doesn't let you back in the vault, and you can actually kill him for that. Just a fun little fact. But to my knowledge, we've never had a Fallout game that starts you in a vault that still contains a bunch of other residents, and that has asked you to go out, scope the wasteland, and come back. And I think that could be really cool, a really nice precursor story before the main game begins properly and you actually leave the vault and never come back. Or maybe that's the entire game. It's all built around Vault 76 in some way, and you have to keep leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back. I don't know, but again, there is some reason why the radiation level is at 500, and thank you so much for Fred for picking up on that, because that is some next level detective stuff, man, I swear. So anyways, Sanders, let me know what you think about this fact in the comments below, and also of the fact that the helium balloons are still floating. I would love to hear your thoughts, and until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.